So you're thinking about moving to Boston, Massachusetts, and you're wondering like what it's like here, what it's like to live here, especially as of late. In this video, I'm really going into, what it's like and discussing what's been going on here. Yes, what's really been going on. I'll tell you the truth about all that, plus really describe all the styles of living and everything you need to know before making this huge move to Boston and, the Boston Metro. If that's the information that you want, we're getting after it right now. So if you're relocating to Boston, what's up, everybody? This is Joe with the Turco Group right here in Boston, Massachusetts. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about working, eating, sleeping, living, playing, and what it's like to be wicked smart, make sure you tap that subscribe button, click the little bell so that you're getting notified every time that we do a new video. Honestly, we get so many phone calls, texts, emails every day from people who are relocating here, and I absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving anywhere in the area, relocating, or coming here to stay, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a message, send us an email, a text, or even send Paul Revere. Days, nights, weekends, however you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when moving to Boston. So I really just wanted to kind of kick this video off and give you guys an update. It's been one of those times where what the heck is going on in Boston? You've probably seen all of these things and read all of these things, and I just kind of wanted to give you some perspective from somebody that, is going through it and seeing it, and so you can either be at ease about it or maybe not be at ease so much. But I'm also going to really dive into this video and kind of expressing everything from what's going on and the things you really need to look into before moving here and preparing yourself. Plus all the different styles of living that's going on here. So it's going to really help you realize some of the areas or things that, you'd like to live in or know about, places that would be a good fit or bad. And fortunately, a lot of them, maybe things that make it where you don't like to live here, just certain things that you could then cross off the list, which it's important. So first and foremost, I kind of just want to talk about what's been going on in Boston. It's a little known fact because, let's be honest, not many people have been talking about it lately, but AARP just ranked the most livable US cities for 2022, and it just came out, and Boston ranked number 4 overall out of the entire country. So some of the things that you really want to kind of think about while you're considering our area are the fact that it's a wonderful place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. I know that, me and my wife and my son are super happy living here, and there's a lot of great things, but it's not like all super perfect. It's not always the best. For example, you're going to just straight up earn those summers. They're beautiful and they're wonderful, but oh my God, getting to them is going to be painful sometimes with the winters, with allergy season, with tourist season, with traffic. But if you want to be in a place where it's temperate, it's beautiful, it's green, and that summer is not obnoxiously hot, it's just kind of like that perfect temperate weather where you can, my favorite thing to do, still wear hoodies. It's amazing. It's one of the things that led to us being on the list. It has just so much upside. And the great thing about the summer is that once it ends, you just get this amazing, just Norman Rockwell fall. New England, you can't beat it. So that's kind of like one of the things that you need to know about this whole situation in coming to Boston. It's the fact that you're going to earn those amazing summer months. And yes, they are going to slip by way too fast. So take advantage of it. Go out there, go hiking, get to the beaches, go out to the rooftop bars. If you're in the younger crowd, spend those nights out, because you are going to be trapped inside for a lot of time during the winter. And it is no joke. You are definitely earning every single second of those summers. Another thing, it's career outlook. Oh my God. What does opportunity actually look like in Massachusetts from a career standpoint? Well, Boston is often called the hub of the universe, and for good reasons. It's home to the top universities, diverse culture, and let's be honest, a thriving economy. Like right now, venture investments in the Boston area, like they just hit 5 billion last year. That's with a B. So whether you're looking to start a company or maybe move up through a corporate ladder, you'll just have some pretty amazing options to choose from here in Boston. And let's be honest, Massachusetts in general. So here's the thing too. Amazingly, we have just this action-packed, huge, major kind of like annual Boston event schedule. You're going to have like so many different opportunities with things that you're not going to see anywhere else. So you're going to see the Boston Marathon, for example, Marathon Monday, where no joke, half the city shuts down. So don't get caught on Heartbreak Hill and try and be getting an Uber. It's not going to happen. The Boston Marathon is among the most popular, and remember folks, it takes place on Patriots Day. The other thing is the Boston Pops fireworks spectacular on Independence Day or 4th of July. And the Boston Carnival, it's a Caribbean carnival. You have so many different things between events and festivals. There's always something going on in Boston. I mean, if you're looking for farmers markets, pop-up events, and community celebrations that kind of makes you feel like you're a part of the fabric of the city, that's what you're going to get immediately. It's really different than any other place that you've probably ever lived, because there's a lot of pride that goes into Boston. And let's be real, at the end of the day, you're having a lot of people that are gonna go out and wanna get together. So couple things to note. Make sure that if you're going to one of the parades, whether it's the St. Patrick's Day parade or when inevitably and invariably we win some type of sports title, whether it's the Patriots, the Bruins, the Celtics, the Red Sox, there's going to be a lot of parades. Don't think that you're going to be able to pop in and pop out. The city basically shuts down for a few hours. And on Marathon Monday, on that Patriots Day, you're going to have from Hopkinton, which is way outside of the city, all the way through and into the city along that route, shut down. And that's a lot of major traffic areas. So that's kind of what it's like living today. I mean, there's so many different options and opportunities, and you're just gonna have that. And that's like the real deal. Like, too many people right now are going to do videos or tell you about some generic things that like really don't matter. And I'm here to tell you that these are major parts of our city's fabric, and everybody gets into them. So don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on that opportunity. And also from a family perspective, it's great. Like, my little guy loves being able to see all of the different things, and with the parades and like the green spaces. So like there's ice skating at the duck pond and the frog pond, and there's just like so much to do. So I mean, it's one of those things where like you have to get into it, because it's not one of those areas that lacks for community. It's a small city in terms of like geography. So it's where people get together. You will start to recognize people. Now, the other thing to know, and it's kind of a big deal, is like we take a lot of pride in our history because Boston was a major location during the American Revolution. So there's always historical sites that you're going to be seeing within walking distance. I mean, the Freedom Trail is an excellent way to understand Boston's contribution to America's colonial history. And it winds its way all the way through Boston. So you're going to get to see so many different things. The walk is like 2.5 miles and it's packed with like, I don't know, 15, 16, maybe 20 different historically significant sites that are like just there, like the Old North Church, or, you know, you're going to get things like the Bunker Hill Monument, which is crazy. I mean, you can't really go wrong with how much just history there is. And, you know, just like if you're sending him to like get in touch with us, you can go to, you know, Paul Revere's house. You can then take a trip down and do the Boston Tea Party. And, you know, there's the ships and the museums and there's interactive exhibits. And yes, there's live actors and there's like replica 18th century sailing vessels that, you know, were just there for the revolution. Or, I mean, you can skip ahead and you can tour things like the JFK, that's John F. Kennedy, in case you didn't know, Presidential Library and Museum to learn more about the legacy of President Kennedy and, you know, his enthusiasm for public service. The other thing is what you'll find is you'll probably bump into a couple Kennedys or, you know, a Wahlberg or any number of people. I mean, you have a lot of celebrities that low-key live in Boston or grew up here, so are here often. You know, seeing people like Steve Carell, Conan O'Brien, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, you know, just like out and about in the community. It's just one of those things that, like, real deal, you want to know about. And the other thing is, Boston is home to some of the best things for sporting. So like it's popular spots for fishing and sailing, like Revere Beach and, you know, the Charles River Esplanade. You also have like all of these paths that go into the public gardens, and you can kind of like hike there or go biking. You can ride the swan boats, or you can do the Boston Harbor Walk. There's just a ton of stuff. So, you know, get out there, bring your golf clubs. You can play the second oldest golf course in the United States at the William J. Devine Golf Course. I mean, you can explore the bear dens at Franklin Park, or you can take kind of like all the different spectacular views of the skyline, and you can check those out at Piers Park. And you can ride the carousel with your kids or browse local art, you know, order food from food trucks. Just, there's so many different things going on. And that's kind of like where the real deal of Boston is. And, you know, why straight up, it was named the number 4 best place to live for cities in the US. And, you know, it's kind of no joke at the end of the day about how good it really is. I mean, we have a thriving art scene inside the city, and, you know, we have a bunch of museums and theaters and kind of like local art places like, you know, Brighton Music Hall. You can kind of get into things like, you know, seeing some of the best shows like Hamilton or Wicked or Swan Lake at, you know, the Boston Citizens Opera House. I mean, you can see Broadway shows, you can see musicals, you can see comedy acts. I mean, you got everything in the theater district. You can kind of go, and if you want to get really into the arts, go to some of the museums and study some of the works of people like Rembrandt, Monet, and, you know, check them out at the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. You can watch Oscar-nominated short films or see some of the creative installations at the ICA, at the Boston Seaport. I mean, there's just so much going on in our city that you have to know about and that you have to check out. And here's the last thing, because after it happened, you know, after, you know, Tom Brady said that he wasn't going to be here anymore. After, you know, a lot of those great Celtics players were traded away. After, you know, some of those Red Sox players were no longer on the team. After. It's one of those things where it's always after. You know what happened? Something even better. Because Boston is just kind of like one of those towns where no matter what gets thrown its way, no matter what happens, whether it's like current events where, you know, almost 10 years ago we had the Boston Marathon bombing, or things like we had a tent city on Methadone Mile. We have all these different things that kind of come in and happen. And we always kind of look up, dust ourselves off, and get right back to it. And that's kind of like the big deal here. It's like a city with grit. It's a city with determination. So if you're moving here, these are things that you want to know, because that's what it's really like to live here. So like I have a client that moved here about 5 years ago, and it totally changed their life. Not because, you know, I helped them with getting like a great condo in the city, but because they came and they just bought into the vibe of the city. They bought into, and it really spoke to them, that kind of grit, that determination that we're going to, no matter what's thrown at us, we're going to like get to that next level. We're going to come back even better. We're going to have it be amazing, and that we're not going to let anybody tell us any different. So, I mean, if that's kind of like the vibe that you have, if that's kind of the personality you have, this is going to be the city for you. So I want to hear in the comments, like, just drop it right down below what you think. Is that something that, you know, is a lifestyle for you? Is that where, you know, you're moving from the West Coast and that's gonna be totally different? What questions would you have about it? Is it where you're coming from the South and it seems like Boston is so fast paced and just crazy? I want to help you guys out, because we're a city of people that, you know, we make sure everybody rises up. So I want you guys to be there with me. Those are all things that we just love helping you with privately. But the only way that we can help you is you have to reach out. You have to, you know, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us a message, an email, days, nights, weekends. You know, we got your back when you're moving to Boston. And until the next video, guys, I'll catch you later. I'm going to go out and enjoy it, because you never know when that next thing happened. So I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to have some fun. Stay wicked smart and have just a great time.